There's a stark warning in the UK. This could be another difficult week. As of today, more than 11,000 people have died of the coronavirus in the UK. The rate of infection has been steadily climbing and has yet to flatten out. Neighboring countries hit hard by the virus are beginning to slowly ease some restrictions. But as Crystal Goomansingh reports, there are worries it may be too soon.
With lockdown fatigue setting in, a stripped-down message about the pandemic battle in the UK.
What do I expect to see happen? I think this week's difficult. I think this week we're going to see a further increase.
Hundreds have been dying from the virus daily.
The NHS has saved my life, no question.
The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, acknowledged his own situation while in hospital was touch and go. The UK is one of 5 countries with a death toll of more than 10,000.
As we're going through the peak of the crisis with the death toll at the level it is at and increasing, we're absolutely keen to make sure, absolutely determined to keep our eye on the ball and our focus on what will save lives, which is people staying at home.
Pressure to restart the economy is strong, and neighboring European countries are beginning to ease lockdown measures. In Spain, a small number of construction workers and those in some manufacturing sectors went back to their jobs. Italy will allow a limited number of shops to open Tuesday. The World Health Organization says there is still a risk.
Now is the time for vigilance. Now is the time to double down. Now is the time to be very, very careful.
China is seeing new cases after it allowed citizens to return from other countries. The WHO will release guidelines Tuesday for countries considering easing lockdowns, saying the virus spreads too quickly and has proven to be deadly not to have some protections in place. Crystal Goomansingh, Global News, London.
Nowhere in the U.S. has been harder hit by COVID-19 than New York State, and today that state reached a grave milestone. 671 new deaths were reported today. That puts the total death toll in New York to over 10,000 people. That's more than the next 14 states combined. There are some signs the situation in New York is improving, though. The number of new hospitalizations is coming down. It's about 2,000 in the past day. New York's governor says the curve is showing signs of plateauing, and he's looking ahead to slowly reopening businesses, he says, in coordination with neighboring states if the trend continues.
Watch that infection rate. And if you see that infection rate start ticking up, which would be undermining everything we have accomplished thus far, then you know you've opened the valve too fast. That is the delicate balance.
An American sailor from the USS Theodore Roosevelt aircraft carrier has died from COVID-19. It is the first death on board that ship, which had a coronavirus outbreak, sickening hundreds of sailors. The crisis exploded into public view after the ship's captain was relieved of his duties for sounding the alarm about the outbreak. One of the world's largest pork processors will be shutting down a major U.S. facility after more than 200 employees tested positive for COVID-19. The number of cases at this Smithfield Foods plant in South Dakota makes up 55% of that state's total number of cases. The company is worried the shutdown might hurt the U.S. meat supply. At least 3 meat producers here in Canada recently dealt with interruptions after workers tested positive for the virus.
The new series that goes inside the COVID-19 pandemic from the front lines.
We're still in a very critical stage of Canada's COVID-19 epidemic.
To the everyday heroes helping us cope with the unprecedented change.
We want to help because there's a desperate need.
We shouldn't fend for ourselves. We have to all come together and help each other out.
Coronavirus, the new reality. A Global News special, Sundays at 7 on Global.